The following program contains language, images, and/or subject matter that may be objectionable to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Direct from Albany, New York, it's time for the New Media Zone. With your hosts, Ed and Dave. Tonight, a look at this week's new film and DVD releases. And a chance to win free movie tickets with the poster pair game. And now your hosts, Ed and Dave.
Hello and welcome to the New Media Zone. And Dave here, and Dave with you, along with Jim's special guest sitting in.
Yay, I'm special.
He's a special guest. Last week we saw our clip from 1986. Very shocking, but funny.
I'm going to get my hair to do just the same.
Tonight we're going to look
Put on your
at
Charlton Heston wig.
Call of the Wild and the Boy 2.
The Boy 2. Brahms.
Brom, yes.
The Boy 2.
Also, some recent celebrity passings.
Oh, that's
That's
always
always sad, but there's an unfortunate passing where there's some bonus photos,
Oh,
much
no.
like the
No.
fraternity vacation.
Please don't,
we
Ed.
saw.
Please.
So,
Please don't pick the worst photo you could find.
oh no, very good photos, very good.
Uh-oh. Boobies?
Oh, Call of the Wild.
Oh, wait. Can we start it? Shall we start it now?
Yes, we can jump
Should
right
I start
in.
now, or did you want to? I'm sorry.
No,
No.
we'll talk about that when we get to it.
Okay.
The unfortunate deaths. But
Okay, so you want me to start then?
oh yes,
Let's go.
Sorry, folks.
there we go.
So, The Call of the Wild, starring Harrison Ford, Dan Stevens, and Karen Gillan. Adapted from the beloved literary classic, The Call of the Wild vividly brings to the screen the story of Buck, a big-hearted dog whose blissful domestic life is turned upside down when he's suddenly uprooted from his California home and transplanted to the exotic wilds of the Alaskan Yukon during the gold rush of the 1890s. As the newest rookie on a mail delivery dog sled team, is that mail M-A-I-L or L-E? And later its leader, Buck experiences the adventure of a lifetime, ultimately finding his true place in the world and becoming master of his own domain.
Oh.
Is that a legitimate dog or is it a CGI dog?
It's all CGI.
Oh, you can't even put a real dog in there now?
Jesus.
Oh.
Give it a biscuit for crying out loud. Give it a freaking milk bone.
Oh.
It's come
Oh,
to
no.
that they couldn't find a dog.
I sure hope she doesn't fall through the water.
You couldn't, not at all. There's never,
Oh,
there's
look
not
at
a
the dog
scene with a dog.
surfing.
There has to be
Oh,
a
gee.
real
I think they said it was 100% CGI dog.
That's not right. I mean, who's playing the dog? Andy Serkis?
Oh, look. And the wolf is a CGI. Oh, my God. Really? Really? Oh, it looks wonderful.
They've done this before with a real dog, haven't they? Call of the Wild?
Well, any Disney film that had animals was
Oh,
a real
yeah.
dog
Yeah,
back in the day.
Oh,
Back in the
Yeller.
day, they would
Yeah.
just, like, Kurt Russell would slap it with a stick if it didn't do what you told it to.
That's right. Lassie was a real
boy.
dog. Rin Tin Tin. These are dogs. Real dogs.
Poor Harrison Ford, I can see, he's talking to aliens, but now he's doing a film where he's got to talk to a dog that isn't there.
Cowboys and aliens.
Bring back the Doberman movies. The Doberman Gang.
The Daring Dobermans. Drive-in fair.
All right. Now let's move along. shall
Boy
we?
2.
Boy 2. Brahms. It says Brahms Boy 2. I got Brahms on this. What is that?
That's right.
Why
That's
doesn't
his
it,
name.
Why doesn't it say it on the
The
screen?
concerto for piano.
I didn't feel like writing Brahms.
Starring Katie Holmes. For some reason, I just think she's beautiful. I like Katie Holmes with that crooked smile and everything, Ed.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Did they CGI Katie Holmes, or we just haven't seen her in 20 years? Because she looks a little older than I
Well,
remember, but it must be
She
a while.
is older. She's in her
She's
40s.
playing mom.
Yes. So this stars Katie Holmes, Owain Yeoman, and Ralph Ineson, I guess, or Ineson. Who are these people? A young family, unaware of the dark history, moves into the Hillshire mansion. Ooh, can you say Amityville horror? Their young son soon makes friends with a lifelike doll called
boy.
Brahms, not to be confused with the fine composer. Rated PG-13 for violence, terror, brief, strong language, and thematic elements. Oh, this looks incredibly unappealing to me.
Jude has to be with Brahms. Oh,
I saw the boy, and it was pretty good, as I recall. There was a weird boy in the walls, a real boy.
A real
Like
in the
a
wall?
wild
You mean
boy.
like Bad Ronald, the
Yeah,
70s made-for-TV movie?
yeah, they kept the kid in the walls. And then there was the creepy doll, too.
This reminds me of Magic.
Ah, Anthony Hopkins.
And Anne Margaret, I think, was also
Oh, that's
in
right.
that.
Burgess Meredith. It's Fats, his
Oh,
manager.
that's right.
He whacks him over the head with the doll.
Was Fats was the dummy, wasn't it?
You're right,
Yeah,
Fats was
Fats
the
was
dummy.
the
What
dummy.
was...
Burgess Meredith was just the manager.
And they find him on the shore, and they give him mouth-to-mouth. Oh, I don't want to ruin it for anybody.
Oh,
Don't play croquet with boy 2.
Brahms.
Brahms.
Well, that looks more interesting, right? With the steak and the...
It's funny, the face of the doll looks kind of Tom Cruise-ish.
Oh, Jesus.
Is that a real dog?
I don't know. That looked like Buck. See how the hair is parted on the doll?
Yes.
Looks like me from 1986.
Brahms.
The boy, too. There was a first boy?
Yes. I
Wow.
saw it. It was pretty good.
Oh, I didn't see that, surprisingly.
Hmm.
All right.
All right. Shall we take a look at and see what the new releases are coming?
And then we'll have plenty of time for more prostate stories.
Yeah, we can
Right.
talk about a different kind of release.
Oh. Ooh. Not whatever.
Let's talk about dead people. Or
We will eventually.
oh, these are
This is what was recently released on DVD, Blu-ray, digital, 4K, whatever.
Digital Code.
21 Bridges.
is this the sequel to 20 Bridges?
This has to do with what? All the bridges to get out of New York.
Yes.
I believe. You have to blockade those 21 bridges to keep the criminal element from escaping.
Chadwick Boseman, who is the Black Panther
Right.
from Marvel, and Sienna Miller. I've heard of her name, but don't know what films she's been in.
I don't know what film she's been in, but I have seen her. And she's lovely.
Oh.
I'm so lonely.
Oh, no. I thought you were enjoying yourself. You don't know. You're
Well,
some
that's-
old folks.
I saw this one.
You did?
Yeah,
Boy, he sees a lot of movies.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Helen Mirren and Ian McKellen.
Yeah,
Good liar.
You went
Lot
out to
of,
the theater for this?
I did.
And you paid $13?
I believe I had a
pass.
A pass, but it was, yeah, it was very good.
Huh.
Very good. They're two very accomplished actors, right? Very.
Helen Mirren wasn't nude in this one?
Oh,
No,
She
no.
usually is.
as in
Ethan. What?
the thief, the wife,
Oh,
the
yeah.
cook, and the lover?
She's the only actress who, I don't know, I think even this one, not this new one though, she better get to it. She's been nude in every decade back to the 60s, according to Mr. Skin.
This decade has just started. So.
Right.
Oh.
Now, is Ian McKellen? Is he the guy that was he in Apt Pupil? The Stephen King story that they made into a movie. Was he the guy that? I'm pretty sure that was him. Do you know? You know
I
the
only
premise
know
of that?
him as Magneto. in
Do you know the
X-Men.
premise of
No.
Apt Pupils? It's a young kid is living next door to a guy who was a Nazi former commandant of a concentration camp. He figures out that it was him and then he makes him dress up as a Nazi, and it's very creepy.
Wow.
Very good Stephen King story.
I
think it's Ian McKellen, but I could be wrong.
I know Ian McKellen from Gods and Monsters.
Or as we
Right.
say in Boston, Gods and
Gods and
Monsters.
Monsters. It's all about oh my God, was it Whale? James Whale
Yes,
directed
James
Frankenstein.
Whale.
Don't mind me.
Rasputin, the Mad Monk. This looks like
like Jesus.
almost like a 30s movie.
This is a Hammer film from the 60s with Christopher Lee as Rasputin,
Oh.
the Mad Monk.
What mystic power did this man possess that... it's as far as I can get.
Is that?
I can't read it.
Oh, you sound like you're doing a Charlton Heston.
That turned men into killers and women into animals. Thank
Oh,
you.
there.
You moved that extra frame
Okay.
for me. And the Twilight Zone.
This is the Jordan Peele version. I don't know what this is, probably on Hulu or CBS.
I think
Did not
it's
get to see that
CBS.
one.
I think it's CBS.
The CBS
series. Yeah.
Prime or whatever they're calling it.
See, this again being the problem with not having cable is if you want anything, you have to subscribe to 20 different services now.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have, Hulu and Netflix and Amazon and CBS and Apple and HBO and all and Showtime.
Disney.
It's not worth it anyway. It's just not worth it.
And don't forget the new Universal, whatever they're calling it, coming soon.
Can't wait to see Jaws: The Revenge on that one with the shark that has growls.
Oh boy!
There we go. All right.
This is another one from the Torchlighters series.
Yes. Heroes of the Faith.
And all of these faith stories have some poor guy about to be beaten or burned or put on a stake. This one, he's headed
We're going to burn your red hair. We are. Tighty. Oh.
Now, was St. Patrick burned in what looks like a Wicker Man type thing?
I don't remember that part of the story.
Oh.
You know what Joan of Arc said when given the choice between burned at the stake or having her head cut off? She said she'd rather be burned at the stake because a hot steak is better than a cold chop.
Oh, jeez. That sounds like something Red Buttons would do on the dais.
I think that might be where I got it from.
Didn't you do that? I swear you.
I did.
You did that on a thing we did, right?
Yep.
You cut to Lucille Ball going,
Yeah, all those,
Oh, we were roasting Mr. Rogers,
Yeah.
I think, and you were
Jimmy Connors who told
oh my
told
God.
John McEnroe
Oh
after he
my
double
God.
faulted, you got no balls. Never did. The end Dave.
Wow.
Celebrity roast.
And that goes back to the early '80s, and you're remembering
I
this
do
stuff.
remember some of them. I can go through a few more of them.
Wow.
That's all right.
There was one
remember
that was
that.
a little raw. Was that what was the balls one?
It might have been that one. No. Mrs. Claus who told Santa Claus, I love what's in your sack. Never did. The celebrity roast.
Oh, jeez.
I think I got one. I think I have one with Phyllis George.
What?
But I can't remember what it was.
That's
Remember Phyllis
it.
George?
I
Way
do.
back in the day, her, Irv Cross.
NFL Today.
And I think Jimmy
Jimmy
DeGree.
DeGree.
Yep. They had something with her in there. I can't remember what it was. But anyway. Celebrity deaths. Oh.
Celebrity deaths?
More somber. Let's go to the somber part of the
Yes.
show.
Well,
Is Phyllis George still alive?
Yes. As far as I
Ed
know.
Burns.
Oh.
he was, of course, Vince Fontaine. You remember that from Grease.
Of course we do.
And Ed Kooky Burns, who was Kooky on the 77 Sunset Strip.
So go Kooky.
I actually have a note. You want to do it now?
What is it?
The Puppies and Babies.
Yes, she doesn't say it anymore.
I think it's finally happened. I think they've seen our show.
You say that all the time.
He's got the jacket on, covering up the paunch that's hanging over his belt, and she's got the long pants on, covering up the cankles, and they remove the Puppies and Babies phrase.
But they show it.
They show a picture of the little babies, because how long can we drag that on? And then it says the
Puppies
phrase.
and teenagers not included.
Right.
Or
Puppies
decrepit
and
old dogs.
grandchildren.
So it's
But
finally over. I
You
think.
don't. You say she has cankles, huh?
Yeah, well, she covered those up. I know
Okay.
she's seen the show because as soon as we said that, the long pants came out. I know she's seen.
I don't know. My only objection is yes, your tagline doesn't go on for years and years. You change it up.
Yes. Unless they buy a new dog or she
Keep
knocks
spitting
the
out
tile
kids.
down.
Ken Goey. What a guy!
That's my dad for you. That's Roberts. Roberts.
Remember the guy, I think it was DeNoyer, back in ye old days. It was, come on down and give us a try before you bite.
Yep.
Now that guy is as old as us.
And the Russian.
You know who came into a store I work at recently?
What?
You know the store I work at, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
You don't want to say
No,
the name of the store?
No,
Because-
he's the guy that ran Orange Ford before they sold it to DePaula.
Ted Pepper?
No. He used to do the commercials for it.
Try that one, folks.
Yes.
Google that name.
Yeah. Yeah. I forget the guy's name, but he's the older guy. He just
What color orange Ford do you want?
right,
It wasn't Byrne, was it?
no, but he used to make a big deal about we didn't take the bailout. Come down, Orange Ford, the longest, whatever, 10-year service since 1909 or whatever it was. Can't remember the guy's name, but he came into the store.
Huh.
And so do some well-known local lawyers, by the way. I'm looking at you, Arnold Proskin.
He doesn't come into that store.
Yes, he did.
Oh, my God.
Sure did. And some government officials that perhaps are high up there,
Huh.
whose name rhymes with
Shmomo.
Boris. Last name. Anyway, Marie Devereaux, Brides of
Devereaux.
Dracula. Oh, this was a good movie, Ed.
Yeah, this was a good one.
I did like this one.
Now, I remember this one mainly for the vampire on the left with
Yes.
the eyebrows.
Yep.
But Marie was the other one. And you
Yes.
couldn't tell, you can kind of tell from the publicity still there with the decollage there.
Uh-huh.
But you can't really tell they hit her quite well on that Brides of Dracula. Well, she was an early model in the 50s.
Oh, Ed!
And
Oh, my God.
I'm looking
Wow.
at, I've never seen anything like that today.
Those are impressive.
Very even skin tone.
And not like that one from Fraternity Vacation, which was, one was this way, one was that way.
My God.
Like the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz. Did they go that way or that way?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I was kind of sad that these are gone now, but these are...
They were gone long before she died.
If you figure that's like back in the 50s,
Right,
and,
yeah.
and where the left arm is on the center shot,
Yes.
she's got to have some big Steve Garvey-like forearms to block that the business that's going on behind there. Is there something peeking out just behind us? That shadow.
Well, behind where? That looks like
Her
hair.
left arm.
I think that's hair.
Yeah, they did.
Long cascading hair coming out.
Yeah, they didn't show any hairs. In the
God,
50s,
she was a
but
wonderful model. I didn't know this.
wonderful. Not just the actress there.
Oh, wow.
Ah!
Oh, this was... Do you remember...
What the hell's that?
This isn't Phantom of the Opera.
No, this is the Brides of Dracula.
It's still the same one. Okay.
But do you remember watching these movies
Yes.
on Channel 10?
Sure.
On
And-
Saturday at 1 p.m. in the middle of
Yes.
winter.
Yeah.
Just
And it
before-
was George Layton. He would come on
Yes.
and would be this still. Tonight on the TV 10 movie, The Brides of Dracula.
Really?
And they would show this still with the TV 10 on it.
Wow. Who knew she was also like a Betty Page?
Yes, we didn't know anything. I got to watch that again and keep an eye out.
Oh, this one's sad for me as a Python fan.
Now, what did he do? Did he write any of those?
He
Wrote
wrote
like
their
the
music.
Lumberjack songs?
He
and stuff
wrote
like
he
that?
wrote most of their songs, most of their music. Eric Idle also wrote a lot of them, but Neil Innes was involved in it. He was in their movies. He was in The Holy Grail. One of the guys,
Did he write
carrying the coconuts.
Knights of the Round Table?
He
songs?
probably did
Right,
write.
Knights of the Round Table.
Yeah, he did write a lot of. And he was in their series too. But yes, a singer, songwriter, comedian. Neil Innes.
There we go. No odd pictures of him.
No, I'm just a little frightened. I'm glad those other pictures, those are good. I don't know who this is.
Sue Lyon.
Oh, she played Lolita, right?
Lolita in the 62 one, which was risque for the time, but not as risque as other films would be later in the 60s.
Tom Brokaw nearly died when he was talking about this movie.
Oh,
You know, last night I went to see
yeah. I haven't overcome
That
yet.
Sue Lyon was absolutely lovely.
Did you see this somewhere? Did you?
No.
No. Oh, right. I thought you had seen an actual clip
No.
somewhere. I go, wow, that's impressive. Dave's lost. Stanley Kubrick. Did
She
that
has a lollipop in her lips.
I got to tell you about a movie involving a lollipop, but that will be off,
Oh no!
off camera.
Ah, Buck Henry.
Buck Henry.
Also from the movie we were talking about recently, Heaven Can Wait.
Yes. Now, in one of these samurai things, he got hit in the head with the sword.
Yes, he did.
And I think it was right before Belushi jumps out a window, I think, or he takes the samurai sword and he's whacking it to break open this wall. And one of those shots, he hits him in the forehead, and you can see Henry kind of look back like he wasn't, like he was going to leave the scene, but then he ended up finishing it off. I forget which one that was. But.
Right, and as the show went on, when they came back from commercial, he had a bandage on his head, and then it was a bigger bandage, and then by the end of the show, all the cast members had bandages on when they came out. Always loved that sketch with the where he was the creepy uncle that would come over.
You could never do that today.
Yeah.
Because the little girls would be lifting up their panties, and he had a camera out. You could never.
So creepy. It was so funny because he really sold it very well.
I think that's all.
It's all the dead people we have?
I think that's.
Don
no.
Imus.
Yeah.
Legendary.
You know, people were saying legendary racist more than legendary radio host. But I didn't really listen to Imus very much. On occasion.
It's good stuff on there. He did. He got really, really, really political eventually, and it got, it took a lot of the shock jock out of them. But they had some funny folks in the cast of that, too.
Oh, yeah.
You had Bernard doing his Cardinal O'Connor, and Rob Bartlett was a comedian that would come on there. He would do a good impression of Mike Tyson. He had some really good bits.
But he was also very, very, very charitable.
Yes.
May have been a horrible racist or whatever he said on the air from time to time, but he gave a ton of money.
With his ranch.
Yes.
Yeah, they took kids with cancer at their ranch, and then what the heck is this?
I saw this.
We don't mean to laugh at The Departed, but this is the Hollywood Superman who looked a little like Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
What, does that mean he just walked around in the streets in Hollywood as Superman?
Yeah, he would get have people get their picture taken with him, and
kind of like how
demand $5.
People
that
or
Elmo
whatever.
was
Yes,
walking
in
around
New
in
York
Times
City.
Square.
Yeah. Suffocated to death in a donation bin.
We don't mean to laugh, but it is kind of humorous. It's high on meth, and these are the people you're getting your picture taken with out on the street.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Oh.
Please let that be it.
See, that's as opposed to Dennis Christopher, who was
Right.
in.
Oh.
Is he dead too?
I don't know.
Breaking
is
Away,
it.
right? Dennis Christopher?
Yes, I think it was Breaking Away. Oh, thank God that's over.
That's all over now.
Are we doing the game now, or are we going to...
Just one quick thing. We haven't done the mystery box in a while. And I didn't know Jim was going to be down, or I would have gotten him. I don't know.
A lot of work went into that mystery box.
Am I supposed to open this?
Yeah, open the side. You just yank the thing. I just happened to be over.
Well, I'm familiar with that. Just yanking the
Yanking the
thing.
side?
Yanking the thing, he said.
I happened to be over at Walmart the other day, and they had those out already.
Oh,
Thank God.
Yummy, yum.
These are my favorites.
Dave loves those mini.
Every once in a while, we'll get these at the Ollie's.
Oh, yeah?
We get these.
Of course, they're from 2 years ago.
We'll have the Cadbury. Always check the date, folks,
Right.
because if it's past date, 75% off.
Ooh.
We still sell them.
They came over in a freight container from China, and they've been sprayed with all kinds of pesticide, but they're delicious.
Well, it is a warehouse. You get stuff in bulk, and sometimes
You get what you pay for.
you can't necessarily. The retail places aren't selling them because they're within a couple months. So they give them to us, and we get them out, and they go.
Perfect.
Trust me, they go.
You're
Game
still
time.
good.
Yeah. Well, these are good until 2020. What's the 7th month? July. Oh, I got plenty of time to eat these. Yeah. Maybe I'll have one tonight.
Jeez, those will be gone in 5 minutes.
I haven't eaten anything yet today, but I'll share my eggs with you. All right, it's post a pairs game where you send in 2 numbers from 1 to 6 and reveal the entry, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, you can win 2 free movie passes. We'll explain it all later. I can't open this one. Michelle Crisafulli, 1 in 5. 1 and 5, and spin the wheel.
Should I do 5 first or 1 first?
You do whatever you want.
I'm going to do 5.
All right, how if I do this? 5 and 1. Ooh, there you go.
Ready?
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. It's Jaws, or as they say in California, Jaws. Let's see what number 1 is.
I'm getting ready with the popper.
Oh, for crying out loud.
That's a film Jim was in, right? I think we had to cut your scene out for television.
From Jaws?
No, Psycho 3.5. Weren't you?
He was the.
No, never did anything. What are you talking about?
You were in that. You were in it.
He played the janitor.
That's right.
Right.
Anyway.
Heavily armed janitor.
I think that scene was at Mrs. Stone's Motel or something. Remember? Was that?
Didn't we do? I felt like we were over on Washington Avenue Extension. Somewhere.
Yeah, my brother's house. My brother had a house over there. We may have used his backyard for something. I don't know. Anyway, that was the poster pairs game. Let me explain how this game works.
Mm-hmm.
You send an email in to MediaZone95 at gmail.com. That's MediaZone95 at gmail.com. 2 numbers from 1 to 6, which can include 1 and 6, by the way, because you can see there's 1 and 6.
Because 1 and 5, not a good idea. As a matter of fact, while he's talking.
Yeah, you flip those around.
Look at that. Oh.
There you go. You send an email, MediaZone95gmail.com, 2 numbers from 1 to 6. We select your entry. We reveal what's behind those numbers that you've selected, and if they match, you win 2 free movie passes. And if you write spin the wheel, we'll bring out the wheel, we'll spin the wheel. You could win up to 6, or you could lose them both. But that's a risk you take, and life's nothing but a giant risk. One of my favorite shows is 1,000 Ways to Die, which can be seen on Pluto TV. Very good show. Anyway.
Pluto. You got to look up that Pluto.
Look up that Pluto TV. Yeah. Anyway, there you go, folks. That's the poster pairs game. Now,
just a quick thing. Remember, I was missing 4 channels from Spectrum. I brought boxes back.
Oh,
back
yeah.
Yes. I put new splitters in all over. The guy finally, and I said, it's probably out on the box somewhere, out on the line. So he's down here. He's looking, these splitters. No, it's probably here, the splitters. No, it's this and that, the wires. He's cutting the ends off the wires, putting new wires on. Nothing is working. He goes out to the box where I told him that right off the bat. He comes back in. Everything's back on. All the channels are back. TCM finally. Somebody had put a faulty wire in up here. And that's why I was missing 4 channels. And those are the 4 channels that are on a different tier if you have Spectrum. That's why I was not getting them. So they're just a quick wrap-up to that story.
Good old Spectrum.
Now, Jim?
So you're on the Spectrum?
I am on Spectrum and TCM now. Finally.
Yes, you had a question. I'm sorry, you were about to ask me.
I said, Jim, I don't know. We'll hopefully see you again sooner than a year and a half.
Sounds good to me.
We will let you know.
I don't know if the people that are watching would approve, but
I think so.
See if you get any feedback.
It'll be about a month from now if you're available.
I'll try and find another ancient clip. I'll try to go back to the Ed and Dave comedy half hour, the ones I can find. Remember, speaking of your mother, Dave, you got in trouble for a sketch on that show.
The Filthy Noises record offer, I think it was.
Oh, my God.
I got a phone call. I was working at night. This will take 10 seconds. I was working at night. Phone rings at the place I was working. All I hear is, I told people to watch this show. And she was just aghast at the Filthy Noises record offer, which I think was Comedy Unchained.
Right.
Yeah. She was absolutely just aghast that I would do something like that. Not offended by the horrible mullet that I had at the time and the big weird teardrop glasses. No, it was that sketch. Whatever.
All right. We'll see you next time. Enjoy your February.
The New Media Zone has been a Cable 2000 production.